My company just screened close to 1,000 applicants for the latest additions to our team. This process reminded me that most people have no idea how to effectively apply for a job. And I get it. Having never seen the other side of it, when I first started applying for jobs myself, before I became a business consultant some 15 years ago, I also had no idea, and I also got rejected to the first 50 or so applications I sent. So in this video, I'm going to share the 7 most common mistakes I see when hiring people, and correspondingly, my top 7 tips on how to crush a job interview. Starting from the beginning, the cover letter. Many people send a completely generic cover letter. That's a huge mistake. The job ad usually lists certain requirements. What HR does, or what we do when we're hiring people, is we select a match between your resume, your cover letter, and our requirements. This is all we have to go by. So what you should simply do in your cover letter is essentially echo the requirements of the job ad. We actually had one applicant that literally did this. He just bullet pointed exactly what we wanted in the job, and then he said how well he fit that description. He didn't end up getting the job, but actually I thought it was a very strong application. One additional strong thing he did is that he also listed the requirements which he was not totally suitable for, and he said why he thought that wouldn't be a problem. Most applicants just try to shine the most positive light on themselves, and this also undermines their credibility, because if you don't ever list any weaknesses, your strengths are not as credible. So tailor your cover letter to the application, look at the ad, what do they actually want, and then tell them how you fit that description. It's that simple. An even more common mistake I see is not tailoring your resume. Many people do tailor their cover letter to the application to at least some extent, but very few people tailor their resume to the application, and you absolutely should. You have a lot of things on your resume that are probably not relevant for certain jobs. So you want to highlight the ones that are relevant and not give as much attention to the ones that are not as relevant. And make sure as well that if you give yourself a title on your resume, which is usually good, it should match with the job description. If your expertise is sales and marketing and you are applying for a marketing job, then make sure you portray yourself as a marketeer, not a salesperson. And on your resume, try to list what you achieved. Don't just list some super vague job title. Try to say what you actually did. So for me as a business consultant, for example, I could say, I did marketing intelligence for an insurance company. Okay, much better is to say, you did a marketing intelligence analysis for an insurance company that led to a 50% increase in the conversion rate of their sales process. Mistake number 4. You treat the interview as a test that you have to pass no matter what. Instead, you should see the interview as a negotiation. You're trying to find a match between what you want and what they want. If you go into the interview with this mindset, this achieves a few things. For one, you are much more credible. You're not just desperately looking for a job no matter what. You're actually looking at if this is a good fit for you. If that's the case, they are much more likely to hire you. Second, you'll appear a lot more confident. It's not just a case where you go there and you can either pass or fail the test. No, you're looking to see if you are a match. By the way, these exact same tips go for dating. If you go on a date, don't think of it as a test that you have to pass. Think of it as a negotiation and a process where you're looking to see if you and the other person are a match. This makes you a lot more confident and more credible. And with this mindset, at the end of the interview, you should have your own questions. If you don't have your own questions, it signals to them that you're just desperately trying to get a job. You may not know what you're even applying for, and you're just seeing if you're even going to make it to the next round. You should have questions, detailed questions, to see if you really want this job. This makes you a much stronger candidate, and this is also better for yourself because you actually want to know what you're getting yourself into. After the interview, you almost always want to send a follow-up email just saying you had a nice conversation and you're there to answer any more questions, or you appreciate the opportunity. Something professional, short. The point is simply to show that you are interested and to show your name again. This really matters. Most people don't do it, and the more often the interviewer sees your name, the more likely it is that they're going to select you. In psychology, there's a phenomenon called familiarity bias. We like things more when we are more familiar with them, and you're much more likely to get a job if people like you more. Tip number 7, do this a million times. Just like dating, getting a job is a numbers game. Sometimes you're just not a match. Sometimes there's just another candidate that is exactly like you, but just a little bit better. Sometimes the interviewer just doesn't like your face. There are a lot of things that can go wrong you don't have control over, so treat getting a job as a numbers game. You want to apply to a lot of different jobs, and yes, this is a lot of work, but hard work pays off. If you do these things well, you do them a lot of times, you will almost certainly get a job. If you like this type of personal development content, I'd be honored if you like and subscribe.